fan. All right, thank you so much for joining us for Select News tonight. My name is Kara Tumwine, and today let's take a look at our headlines. In our headlining stories tonight, a candle deems Sheikh Muzata laid to rest, his legacy to live on. And Museveni promises development in Busoga region. And in sport, national basketball team captain rewarded for his performances. This and many more coming up in Select News tonight. All right, our first story today, the body of Sheikh Muzata Nuhu Bate has been laid to rest today at his ancestral home along Bombo Road. Now, many dignitaries attended his burial and to send him off, to send off the fallen soldier. Let's take a look at the story. Many dignitaries from different races of life gathered at Chibuli Mosque this morning, where the body of the late was brought for his last prayers. Politicians, religious leaders, and many other important people were there to send off the late. Politicians, friends, and relatives that were given a chance to speak at the function all said wonderful things about him and promised to keep his legacy.
Mumaso Katonda yagamba ati amazima tegatulirwa bigamba nga abadde atulira ayogera mazima era abajja okumulirwa abajja okugalwanirira webali tebagenda kuvaawo.
Kamanke Buga natumiddwa Katikkiro oyimirira mu ngatto ze ensaba Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala nsobozese okumalako okusoma obubaka. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Kululwe nabo makage n'obwakabaka bwa Buganda atuusa okusaasira kwe n'okubagiza kwe eri jjajjaffe Mbuga, eri Supreme Mufti, eri ab'ennyumba ya Sheikh Muzata, eri abasiraamu bonna mu Uganda olw'okuvibwako munnaffe Sheikh Nuhu Muzata Bate.
Uganda efiiriddwa, Obuganda bufiiriddwa, ekika ky'enjovu kifiiriddwa, naye nange ng'omuntu nfiiriddwa nnyo nnyo nnyo. Nze ng'omuntu Sheikh Muzata abadde personal, Sheikh Muzata abadde anjagala nnyo, ate sikunjagala kuno okwokumbi biyita, naye Sheikh Muzata abadde ne kye bayita tough love, nga be bakadde baffe naddala ffe abatalina bakitaffe betwasigaza abatukeepinga mu order, nga ne bw'aba akwagala nnyo bw'obanga ava ku mulamwa ayanguwa mangu n'alya mu ntama.
Tusigazayo ennaku mmeka ate naawe omugobere kubanga okwagala n'obutayagala buli mwalagamu Katonda gyatonda ku nsi kuno yatutondaga buli muntu alina omulimu gwe yamuwa okukola ku nsi kuno. Kyekitufuula okubeera abasigira ba Mukama Katonda ku nsi, twabeerawo tubeere tusobole okuyimirizaawo ensi era Katonda ajagala ebeerewo kinsala erwali jijjawo. Naye Mukama wange, muganda wange, mwannyinaze, mukulu ani omanyi olw'emirimu gye yakulagira kukola lweginaggwa.
His relatives also spoke about the late and asked the public not to be harsh in judgment.
Njagala kugumya nti ofisi ya Muzata and others ye kyaliwo egenda kutambula. Mukama waffe mulimo guno yakututendeka era abantu abadde batambulako naffe nkakasa nti muli bajulizi abadde alina waatuuka n'atunula kutunuulizi n'alaba abaana batambuza omulimo naye n'atatambudde naffe
The Supreme Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Suleiman Kasule Ndiruwanga, asked people to put Muzata in their prayers and also keep peace and good morals in his honor.
Tufunye simu okuva mu mawanga ag'enjawulo mu America, Canada, Bungereza, South Africa n'ebitundu by'eggwanga nga wonna basabira Muzata obulungi. Muzata abadde wa mugaso eri omeno. Katusabe Allah asasire Muzata.
Later, his body was transported to Chigogwa Mutuga Bombo Road, Wakiso district, where he was buried amidst loud cries from loved ones. Muzata was born in 1959 and passed away yesterday, the 4th of December 2020. Before his passing, he was fighting for freedom for the Muslim community, keep in oneness, cooperate with one another, and also keep in the faith. Muzata has been a marriage counselor, philanthropist, teacher, and a leader in the Muslim community. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
All right, in our next story, NUP Party President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has insinuated that the family of Sheikh Muzata is under intense pressure to hide the exact cause of his death. This at his send-off today at his send-off prayers in Chibuli Mosque today.
Evening, he would suspend his campaigns in honor of the fallen Muslim cleric Sheikh Nuhu Muzata. Kyagulanyi, who were supposed to be in the areas of Bulambuli, Bukedia and Ngora, instead headed to Chibuli Mosque in Kampala to mourn the late in company of his campaign team. Bobi Wine said that with so much respect to the family of the late, he suspects that there is so much hidden information regarding Muzata's death report, which by press time had not been released.
Nenga bwe bityo bibadde bibeera. So zendooza nti mu bukulembeze obulungi ripooti ku muntu atali wa bulijjo nga Sheikh Muzata yandibadde yafulumye dda ku nfaaye. Kubanga bwetyo bwe tubadde bakadde bange mutudde nnyo wano ekibuli ng'abantu ab'omuwendo bafudde babattiddwa mu ngeri etategerekeka negenda bwetyo. Oba oli awo abo abalina obuyinza ne balowooza nti amabogo oba akasente oba akasimu kisobola okwoza ennaku.
In his remarks, he said many Muslims have died mysteriously and no follow-up has been made to the effect.
Omugenzi Kirumira bwe yattibwa tetwafuna ripooti wabula omukulu yasindika abasindise ne batwalira kitaawe akasente ebyo byakoma bwe bityo. Omugenzi Yasiini Kawuma bwe yattibwa ripooti yafuluma naye omukulu yasindika be yasindika ne batwalira abantu be akasente ebyo ne bikoma bwe bityo. Ne bamasheek bonna bonna abaze battibwa era mwennamu abadde ku TV nga mulaba omukulembeze w'eggwanga ng'agamba abo bannayuganda be twase tujja bawaayo ssente. Kati nze muli mutima ne neebuuza n'obulumi obw'ekitalo nti ddala kati Sheikh Muzata apimibwamu ssente mmeka?
Sheikh Muzata, having been a teacher, this is the time to put his teachings into action, according to the presidential candidate. He asked people to emulate him, mostly the youth.
Bange kitalo ddala naye nga mmaliriza njagala buno obubaka bugende eri mwenna. Manyi tulina bakadde baffe bangi nnyo naye njagala buno obubaka bugende specifically eri mmwe bavubuka bannange abansingako akatono mu myaka n'abo bensingako akatono mu myaka. Sheikh Muzata kati agenze naye abadde musomesa era ye ne ssaawa okutandika okulaga nti tubadde tusoma mu bulamu bwonna bwe tumulabidde.
Bobi Wine added, this is the time to fight for rights of Muslims. He said many Muslims are mistreated and taken to prison without reason, adding he will start by releasing them once voted into power.
Mmwe baganda bange bakojjange abasiraamu kibakakatako kitukakatako ffenna okulwanirira eddembe naddala eri abasiraamu. Abadde nga akyogera buli wafuna omukisa nti abasiraamu bangi bali mu makomera nga tebalina musango. Abasiraamu bangi
bayisibwa mu ngeri etali ya bwenkanya okufaanana ne bannayuganda abalala. Tetuli mu kampeyini, sijja kudda wano ngambe nti nja kuyimbula buli musiraamu atalina musango newankubadde kyentandikirako.
Bobi Wine called upon people not to fear death, as it remains everyone's destiny regardless of stature.
Kata ku buli omu okulubirira ekyo ekigendererwa. Ffenna tutambulira mu kufa abakadde bange. Ffenna tutambulira mu kufa. Era twandibadde tuggwamu nnyo amaanyi ng'empologoma nga Sheikh Muzaata tuli mu muziika olunaku lwa leero. Nenze njagala obbategeeza ate nyongedde kufuna maanyi. Kubanga oba Sheikh Muzaata tugenda muziika leero kitegeeza nti buli omu tusobola muziika. Era ekyo kitujjukize nti buli muntu eyatondebwa ku nsi kuno alina okukomba ku mpeke y'okufa. Buli omu malayika eyo gye bayita mauti eyina omunona.
Sheikh Muzaata was laid to rest today at his ancestral home in Chigogwa Matuga off Kampala Gulu Highway. Elijah Tuyagumanawe, Karo Tumwine for STV Select News.
Aliko ne Honorable Kyagulanyi ono mu constituency ye nga afiiriddwa omulonzi we. Naye nanyiiga nenva njagala okuva mu mbeera. Era nabuuza ne ngalwe commandant w'abano olya mmere ki? Buno bujega buyaye. Era nentandika okukola research nendaba nga senga tugamba tulina akakuŋŋunta twali kuŋŋunsa enfulunguse mu gavumenti ya President Museveni zaali badde nnyingi. Kuba nalabira ddala omusajja enterahamwe yennyini. Nalaba tumuyita mu Luswahili ekipingamizi.
All right, that was all about Sheikh Muzaata Nuhu Bate, who was laid to rest today at his home on the 5th of December. Now may his soul rest in eternal peace, and he will be remembered as a controversial Muslim. Moving on to the NRM camp, where the NRM flag bearer and President Yoweri Museveni has today concluded his campaigns in the eastern region with a rally in Kamuli, which is also home to Speaker Rebecca Kadaga. Now he pledged to bring development to this region once voted into power for a 6th term. Suhail Mugabe was there and he reports this story.
Party flag bearer and presidential candidate Yoweri Museveni has today continued with his campaigns in the Busoga region, campaigning in Kamuli and Buyende districts. The president met with leaders from the NRM party in Kamuli district today. Speaking to journalists here in Kamuli, the Speaker of Parliament and also the Kamuli District Woman MP Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga came out and revealed that NRM is still strong, especially on the grassroots here in Busoga sub-region. The Speaker also said that she will continue canvassing for votes for the President.
We want to welcome him and to urge the people to listen to the messages, listen to our manifesto, and just to reassure the public that the NRM has a big program for this country, as contained in our manifesto. We have a number of unfinished activities, and would like you to give us the confidence and the authority to complete what we have not yet done, and also to make changes under the new manifesto. So we really want everybody to listen, and we want to urge you to support our candidate. The other candidates are all Ugandans. They are good people. There are many ideas, but we think that the candidate of the NRM is still the best to take this country forward.
The leaders from Kamuli and Buyende came out and also gave the president a proposal and portfolio regarding in what they want for him to do in regards to development. They also made out several requests to the president to help them boost and also bolster economic development in the Busoga sub-region.
Your Excellency, Bukungu Kamuli Road, it has been on table for long. You have equally mentioned something about it for long. We request that as we move on and as we go in villages looking for votes of the mighty party NRM, something is done and something is really seen on the ground as far as Bukungu Kamuli Road is concerned.
Humanity may not recognize achievements once achieved. We always look at the challenges. But the fact is that there are certain achievements this government has made in terms of road network, If in terms of industrialization, in terms of security, we can move from any part of the country. In terms of electricity distribution to the remote villages, I think for me that's a precursor for development onto which we can base our future.
While speaking to the people of Busoga, President Yoweri Museveni also came out and revealed that no one will disrupt the peace that has been created by the NRM government, and he's well aware of what is going on in the country.
Violence. That means they don't understand. Because violence is the one which will scare away these cows which we are milking now. So when you see somebody talking the way he's talking, then you know, oh no,
President Yoweri Museveni today has concluded his rallies in the Busoga sub-region and will start commencing with rallies in the western region next week. For STV Select News, I'm Suhail Mugabe.
Okay, moving on to our next story, where COVID-19 has presented a number of challenges, including an escalating in the number of teenage pregnancies. Now, in Chiriandongo district, this is one of the districts where the problem has escalated most, and we have a detailed report about this issue.
Ministry of Health on the 15th of October announced the opening of schools for candidate classes. They, however, noted an increase in the number of teenage pregnancies, hence the decision to let girls who are pregnant sit for the examinations. Chiriandongo residents made a decision to hold a meeting with Joy for Child Uganda, an organization that fights for children's rights, to figure out ways of solving this problem. The residents said there are people of diverse cultures that convince these girls that sleeping with older men is okay.
Tulina kabila nyingi mu Kigumba sub-county. Kabila ya kubanza kabwire buno hali tuli baliyo bagiso bagenda mu himbalo tibakufaayo abaana bato abo bayisiki kubalinda nko kusanga omwana muto ayibukire mayiro na mayiro nahondera bano bambalu tibakufaayo na covid bizirege bwire buno.
Others say the refugee camp located in this area has men that deceive these girls with money and other material things that attracts them to have sex with these men.
Kyonka abantu bano baina sente tibagambwaho government yabwe yaleta onekansigereze ke kusobora baitu naye kusani hikire hali ekulemerwa. The
probation officer in Chiriandongo district says he has been getting these reports and the number is as high as 480 girls who are underage. Moses Ntege, the CEO of Joy for Child Uganda organization, blames parents for neglecting their duties and police for concealing information on these cases and not providing justice.
Yabusa togisa sura eri mukaga obukube n'ensonga yona rundi omupolisi umusango eguranganiza rundi LC1 rundi omuzeire iwe nosokutera enamba egyo mukaga nosobora ensonga yawe ataro n'omundi amanyire kano bagamba ni balanga mutagamba omwana uri muyamba
Deo Obura, the regional police commander, advises parents to be very strict and set up high standards of protecting these children since they are no one else's responsibility.
Formerly, children used to be for everybody, but today a child is for a particular person, which is a very wrong conception. And even our own children have refused to learn, even if they are guided. For example, we have been chasing some of these failures coming to happening in places before even COVID.
Latifa Hamid, Edith Nabagereka.
All right, thank you so much for being with us on Select News tonight with me, Karo Tumwini. Now, we do hope that parents who have watched this story will continue to protect their girl children and not cause them to go through such things. Now, we will take a short break right about now and return with more stories. Please don't go away.
watching STV. Select for fun.
Came through looking like a million. Julira Buju Enyumba Julira
Volume keto batwongereko. I want to be your mommy, I want to be your queen. Call me Megatron, just did it tell it.
Naiwake What a vibe Inatuna Hey, let that chupa Dangote babala Simba babala.
Hey guys, you're watching STV. Select for fun.
All right, welcome back. Now, moving on to our COVID-19 updates. Let's take a look at what this has to say. Now, new cases are 290, of which cumulative recoveries to date are 9,117. And then cumulative confirmed cases of Ugandans to date become 22,188, making a total of 638,787 cases in total, and the cumulative deaths to date are 206. Now that was all for the COVID-19 updates. Now moving on to the next story, where Joseph Semazi, an ardent NRM supporter in Chotera, was stabbed by unknown people on his way to one of the campaign rallies and is in critical condition. Now it is alleged that the reason why he was stabbed was because he was wearing an NRM t-shirt with the president's picture on it. Let's take a look at the story.
One of the strong NRM supporters in Chotera was stabbed yesterday by unknown people while he was on his way to MP Haruna Cheyune's campaign rally. Joseph was rushed to Kalisizo Government Hospital in critical condition to help save his life. Paul Sekajigo, a doctor that was found working on him, refused to show face on camera but says the patient was brought in while he was in a terrible condition and couldn't even talk. Some of the witnesses present while the victim was being stabbed said there was absolutely no reason for the havoc, but they suspected it was because he was wearing a yellow t-shirt that had a picture of the incumbent president Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
Kubanga munafu ye mufumisize ekiso nebe kibanga opposition eri mu kulwanyisa government eriwo ngeji provoking abwetu okugiremesa n'okwambala engoye zeyagala bo bambala leero ani abalemesa okwambala leero.
These also said they are scared for their lives and don't know what might happen to them because of the acts that are unfolding even before elections.
Abaguzi ba NRM tuyisidwa bubi tufunye okusoomozebwa. Tusaba government situkiremu nga ffe tunatandika kwesitukiramu kubanga engeri gye tuli mu kucookoozebwamu naffe tugenda kuwalirizibwa okwerwanako kitajja kuba kirungi. So tusaba departments ezikwatibwako ku nsonga eyo zisitukiremu nga abawagizi ba NRM tebannaba nabo kusituka.
Toyinza kugamba sinzira ebikolwa ebyakwekalakaasa okuwedde nga waliwo sayidi ebiwagira bizzeemu ne birabikira n'emulaala ezzeemu okubaawo eya sayidi ey'NRM. Kino ekikolwa bannamawulire ne bannayuganda tutandika kitunuulira nti waliwo abakifandinga.
The Minister of State for Finance Haruna Cheyune has warned all those that are starting to undertake these acts of violence and bloodshed against NRM supporters to be ready to face the law because this will not be accepted.
Omuntu yenna agenda okuddamu okuleeta effujjo ku mulala eye basime. Omuntu yenna mwabali eyo mumpulira
mube n'amagezi mukuze abaana bammwe. Omuntu yenna atambula n'ekiso ng'oyagala kufumita oyo atakkiriza mu kyokkirizaamu weesonyiwa abantu.
Maria Dana Namiro, STV Select News.
Now, such kind of acts should be condemned by our leaders and the people in charge, because otherwise people are going to lose their lives. But anyway, moving on, today we shine a spotlight, as usual, on some of the prominent people we have in the country and tell you all about their stories. Maria Diana Namiro does a good job at collecting these stories. Now, today we shine a spotlight on the Commissioner of Prisons, Frank Baine, and get to know his life story. Let's take a look.
When speaking about Frank Baine, simplest is the word that comes to mind. Down to earth and a servant are some of the descriptions that people have said about him. 55-year-old Frank Baine, who had dreams of becoming a priest at an early age, is now the Commissioner of Prisons.
Sinjiro, my city now is in Barara, to a gentleman called the late FX Kasimbazi, or Francis Xavier Kasimbazi, and my mom, who is still around, Angela Tabawa. In my mom's womb we are 3, but in my dad's womb we are many. He was a true African man. And so I grew up in the village.
He has worked for the force for 24 years, rendering services and providing his worth.
Spokesperson and Commissioner of Prisons. And I have worked for Uganda Prison Service now 24 years.
What makes his story stand out is that Baine came to Kampala to further his studies in 1989.
It was not education, I wouldn't have come this way maybe, because I didn't have the means and the ability to move from Isinjiro to this way. But like I said, after HSC, at the time the institutions of learning were rather this side of the center. So that's how I came. But of course, for us, life was difficult. We used to use these trucks that were carrying cows, and but to us, of course, it was new. But to those who were already used to the modern world, that was very challenging to come with these people who bring cows, and you are on top of a roller for 2-3 days, and you reach Kampala.
He, however, had major challenges in his education journey. Senior 2 marked the date when he had to fend for himself and pay his tuition by working small jobs.
And I have done very many things. For record, in Senior 2 is when we got family problems around. Actually, that was around P6. Then my mother separated. Then we remained home. Senior 2, my father removed me from school. I insisted because I loved school so much. So we had to part ways. I had to go and work for my education. And from that day up to where I have reached, I have lived to work for what I get.
He then got married to the love of his life, who he has had kids with.
I am officially married. Okay. I have spent 20 years. You can see in a ring, like I have a ring.
Some people wear them with their face.
Yes. I have even written about my family in this book. And we have loving children with my wife. But I choose to keep my family out of the public, because I know the price they will pay when they are targeted by the public. That's why I want to keep what I am doing is a professional attire. And I don't want to mix the profession with my family.
As the Commissioner of Prison, he expressed his disappointment in young men who don't change after incarceration.
Make sure there is something you use, not sit and cry and lament that I can't do nothing, as if you don't, as if you don't have either 2 or 1 of the 3.
What is the most challenging thing in your life?
Well, the most challenging thing in my life is I wonder why, especially these young people, where everybody says the prisons are congested, the conditions in prisons are not good, but you see these young men struggling to come to the prison. Even those who have been there, they want to come back. So That one has challenged me. I think I may have to go back and do a study and see exactly what drives these people to a place where otherwise everybody thinks is not the place to go.
Frank Baini said his occupation does not hinder him from doing what he loves most.
I have a passion for farming. I like, one of the animals I like most is a cow, and I have cows. I have cows in Kampala. I have cows where I come from in Imbarara. I have goats. I have something. Modern day does not require you to have a very big space. It's a question of what do you want to be, and then not put the eggs in one basket. That today, if I find I can't be here for one month, does it mean my children should not feed? So that's why I don't want to go to the supermarket to buy milk. I don't want to go to the market to buy bananas. I should have a banana plantation. I should have the milk. And actually the children now in COVID, they are the ones milking the milk. They should milk the milk, drink it, so that they know tomorrow when they fail to have their cows, they should not blame me that, we used to see father bring milk from the market. We don't know even how to touch a cow. Those are the things, because this is what we have done to our children.
He urged Ugandans to embrace farming on a large scale.
There is nothing we are doing to prepare our children for themselves to do their things. Okay. And that's where I have a very big challenge about our mindset, because as a professional teacher, I believe in the triple H model. The head for the knowledge, the heart for the attitude, and the hands for the skills. If you don't have the three as a human being, then there is a problem. And I keep telling people, I tell my children, that God helps us survive in three ways. Either you are educated and knowledgeable and qualified, you use your knowledge. Or you are skilled, you know how to build, you know how to paint, then you survive on that. Or you have a talent. You can act, you can dance, you can, you use either the talent or the skill or the knowledge, but make sure there is something you use. Not sit and cry and lament that I can't do nothing. The reason I decided to pen down this book as the river of my life is to try to write for those I don't talk to about my life. Very many of us are excited about the products, but not many of us want to know the processes. But this book clearly describes that without the process, the product is temporary. Don't look at everybody you have seen successful. Let it be the Mandela, let it be the current president of Uganda, let it be even the Obamas. Nobody, very few, I don't want to say nobody, very few people have what we call a straight life. You are born a prince, you grow a prince, you become a king, and you die a king. Those are very few. Life and destiny must be struggled for.
So much, Afande Baine. It was really a very strong word. And you who's watching us right now, today I want to give you this. It's a word of wisdom. Do not give up on your life. Do not say things are not going to work out for my good. Because Afande Baine has given us his story, how he struggled with his education. So if your parents have failed to pay you school fees, don't say I'm not going to continue with the education because my parents are not paying my school fees. My dear friend, find always, as long as you're moving in the right way. Maria Dana, this is Select News. Every weekend, please tune in, go to our social media platforms and subscribe, and keep on watching STV. We love you so much. See you next time.
All right, in our business story tonight, the President Museveni has promised to bail out the sugarcane farmers in Busoga region and support them financially. This as he canvassed for votes in that part of the country. Let's take a look at the story.
President Museveni has today promised sugarcane farmers in Busoga sub-region to bail them out financially. He said he was notified that the issue of bailout needed to be attended to urgently since many sugarcane farmers have been affected. The president noted that Uganda produces 540,000 metric tons of sugar every year, whereas only 3/4 of this is consumed locally. He noted that the remaining 160 tons needs to be exported to neighboring countries, but the quota or production of Uganda's sugar is still high compared to other countries. He added that the problem will be solved through the East African integration. However, the president maintained that producing sugar in large quantities shouldn't be a problem but a blessing.
All right, moving on to our sports segment for tonight. The national basketball team captain Jimmy Enabu was rewarded for his performances in the month of November by Real Sports Stars organization. Now we have the report.
The captain of the Uganda national basketball team, the Silverbanks, Jimmy Abraham Enabu, was rewarded by Real Stars Sports organization for the month of November. At a ceremony organized at Kupa Kimni Hotel, 32-year-old Enabu, who just returned from Afro basketball qualifiers in Egypt with the national team, along with 2 other recipients, were rewarded for their good performances in the month of November. And in his words while receiving the award, he was grateful to the organizers for this monumental.
It's a good award. Any time that you're appreciated for your efforts, it's a very good thing. So this makes me happy, definitely. I'm enjoying it. You know, there's nothing else I can really say about it. I'm enjoying the award and thank you for the opportunity.
STV caught up with Jimmy Enabu after receiving his award, and in his words, he talked of Uganda's performance in Egypt.
Well, we already celebrated. Well, right now what we're really focusing on is getting better. You know, we had our time to enjoy the wins, but you know, there's a lot of work to do. The job is definitely not finished, so we have our homework to do, and hopefully we'll get better within the remaining time that we have for the next window.
He also thanked the organizers for the award for this recognition.
They want win, but that's not our real focus. We're looking to go and get 3 wins, so we are, you know, we're very hopeful and our chances look very good.
He further talked of Uganda's chances at Afro basketball, and the team is focused the job is halfway, and the blending between foreign-based players and the local players.
Uganda's basketball is getting better. It's on the rise with opportunities like this, with Uganda being able to compete favorably against teams like Egypt, Morocco, Cape Verde. I think we're on the right track. We shall only keep getting better.
It should be noted that Jimmy Enabu is one of the Uganda's most decorated basketball, having played for Power Basketball Club and leading City Oil Basket Club to 7 record championships and having more than 50 caps for the Uganda national basketball team. Story compiled by Yasin Sekalala for Select News Sports.